Hi scrapbook friends, it's Nicole from Nicole's Scrapbooks, and I'm here to share with you an idea for using up your paper scraps. If you are anything like me, sometimes when you finish an album project or a layout, you end up with a bunch of little scraps of paper that you don't really know what to do with. You hate to throw them away because it's pretty paper, but maybe it's pieces that aren't going to work for another layout, or you don't really know what you're going to do with it, or you don't have a way to store a lot of extra scraps of paper. So today I'm going to show you how to make a card, and it's an idea that's very easily adaptable to be a border if you'd like to make a card or border just using your scraps. I'm also going to be using our Creative Memories blank card kit. You know, we sell some pre-designed card kits that are all cut out and all you have to do is put them together, but this is the blank card kit. So when you purchase this, you get 12 blank white cards with envelopes, coordinating envelopes, so you can create your own card all the way, and this is perfect for this. And then it stores in this really nice box. So this is a great gift idea, even if you need something to give as a gift. You know, I give them to my mom, homemade cards at Christmas, because she has everything. But she does love to send cards, and she always appreciates getting cards as a gift. So that's what we're going to start with. And then this is the Spring Medley paper pack. Now the Spring Medley is one of our newer collections. One of the things I love about it is that besides the designer paper pack, this one has a tone-on-tone. So instead of having 12 designs, we have 24 designs, because each pack comes with 12 sheets of double-sided paper, 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. The other thing that's really nice is that the paper packs are packaged with this piece of cardstock that shows what the papers look like. And this is photo safe, nice quality white cardstock. So don't ever throw this away. Save this white cardstock. There's so many projects that you can use it for. And in fact, we're going to use it for our project today. So the card that we're going to be making is a standard A2 size card, which means it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And so the piece that we're going to work on, I want to be slightly smaller so that when I attach it to my card, it will give a little bit of a border. And I've already started cutting one of these up from the paper pack. And so I'd already cut this one at 5 1/4, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this by 4, and this is going to be the base to make my card with this 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece. Then the other thing you're going to need to do is cut up a bunch of little strips. You can see I've already started cutting some just from your cardstock or your pattern paper, and you don't even have to measure, just kind of randomly cut a variety of widths of designs and patterns. You're going to want, you know, as much variety as you can get as far as widths and colors, and that's just going to make your finished product that much prettier. And if you don't quite cut straight, like here I'm getting to the end, it's a little harder sometimes to cut a perfectly straight when you can't hold your paper down. That totally doesn't matter, because we're just going to work around that. So got a bunch of my strips cut. I can put my trimmer aside. We are going to need it a little bit later on. And then I'm going to take my little 4 1/4, 5 1/4 by 4 card, and I'm going to use my repositionable tape runner. This is a great tape runner. It gives just some little dots, and anything excess that goes where you don't want it, you can rub off when you're done. But it also allows you to kind of move things around when you need to. So I'm going to use more than I would ordinarily use to adhere anything. I'm going to kind of go around the edges, and then just give a couple more lines down the middle. And then you're going to just start positioning your strips. Now you could theoretically do these perfectly straight or perfectly vertical, but for me, because I know that I didn't necessarily cut all of these perfectly straight, I just don't trust that I would end up with something that was perfectly straight the whole time. So I'm going to do it at an angle. And I'm just going to stick my pieces down. I'm going to vary the widths that I use. I'm going to vary the colors that I use. I do like to kind of keep it close to the edge right here on one side, so that when I'm done, I may be able to use some of these scraps on another page. All right, so you're just gonna go all the way up and all the way down. And I have one that I already started, so you don't have to watch me do the whole thing. Because I do want to show you a little bit at the corners. You're going to want to put a little extra adhesive on here, or you may want to put a little extra adhesive just because you were going to trim the pieces and you want to make sure that it's good and sticky. I also like to save a wider piece to go at the end. So here I am getting down here to the end, and I'm just going to kind of fill in this whole little triangle that's left so that as I finish this up, I know that it's going to be stuck all the way. All right, see how I put this down? There's a little tiny square. I don't want that. So I think I'm going to find another teeny tiny little piece. Put that in to fill the gap. And then I'll take this wider piece and it will cover up that whole remaining quarter. And so then just go ahead and rub it all down. Make sure it's nicely adhered. This one buckled a little bit, so I'm going to pick it up and press it down. And then you're going to take your trimmer again and just trim off these edges. Oh, come on. That one does not want to get trimmed off. All right, and this is a great time to use the sightlines guide on your CM trimmer because you can make sure that you're trimming right off the edge and that it's straight, because it's hard to line up this one because everything's covered up. So this first cut, I'm going to use the sightlines guide to make sure that I've got the edge just right. And then I'll just be able to line it up with the edge of the trimmer. And I'm going to save these. Some of these are too small, but some of these I'll be able to use on another similar card. Okay, so here's my finished card front. And then I can just take this and adhere it to a card. And then I like to just take a piece of white cardstock. Of course, you can use the same cardstock that we used before. And maybe about a 1 inch or 3/4 inch strip to make a little place to write a sentiment. You could handwrite this, you could stamp it, you could cut a little flag border. So I'm just gonna write, I'm always needing thank you cards. So I'm just gonna write thank you. And then I could use that on my card, you know, just like this. So even if you don't have any stamps or anything like that, you could also print stuff out on your computer and use that as your sentiment. So this is a super versatile idea. If you're not into card making, you don't have any desire to make cards. I also did some with some leftover Christmas paper. If you remember the Merry Little Christmas collection, it sold out super fast when we had it last fall. And so I had to use every precious little piece of that. And so I did it for this one, and I did these on a 2 by 12 inch strip. And so even these little shorter pieces I was able to use to make this. And when I made the facing border so I could use them on the same page, I did try to position so that this was a similar angle. You know, I don't think you'd want this angle, but I did try to kind of position so that it was a similar angle. So here you go. This is just a great idea to use up your scraps and to, you know, be able to make a card border. You could also take this and you could cut circles out of it. You could punch, you know, different shapes, cut it into smaller squares and use it as a border. So many things you can do, and you don't need to be sad and throw away all these extra little scraps of paper that you have. So I hope that you will try this idea. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. And I would love to see or to hear about how it worked for you, and hope that it helps you to use up some of those little precious scraps of this, the papers that you love the most. So I hope that you are having a great day, and wherever you are, happy scrapbooking.